Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on subtracting decimals. Subtracting decimals follows the same rules we use for subtracting whole numbers. In this situation, we need to make sure that all the single digits and all the decimals are lined up perfectly in columns. Perform the following subtractions. So we've mentioned this in the previous video where we saw addition of decimals, so I won't labour on it too much. See the lining up? Everything's lined up perfectly. And that's what you have to do, especially the decimals. And just do normal subtraction. When we get down to here, we have our trading involved. And again, I won't labour on it. Just remember that the first column here is the tenths column. That is the 1 over 10 column. This is the hundredths column. So you know the value of each of these and you know what trading is involved. Just follow the same rules as we do for whole numbers, but just remember that these numbers here have a different value because they are to the right of the decimal point. And just do the normal subtraction. Over here, the numbers become a little bit larger, but the same principles apply. See how we have the trading involved? This is the 1 over 10 column, that's the 1 over 100 column, and that's the 1 over 1000 column. The trading is all the same. Down here, it's quite the same. The trading becomes a little bit more involved. We have more of it, so you have to be particularly careful. Go very, very slowly, and you will not make a mistake. So what I advise is, yes, I've done all this for you. All the working is there, but it would be advisable to actually go through these sums yourself and just use these here as a guide, just to make sure you've done it correctly. See how down here it's very, very involved? There's trading all the way through. And it becomes particularly interesting when you have zeros here. So do these yourselves. Yes, they're teaching videos, but if you practice each example, you have the answers and you have all the trading set out, you can actually see how you're going. Let's look at the next slide. Follows on with the same principles. There's all the trading perfectly done. Now a little trick, you can quickly check whether you've done this correctly because 6 plus 7 is 13, 4 plus 9 is 13, 6 plus 8 is 14, 4 plus 3 is 7, and so on. Remembering that these here have different values because they are decimals. Like to the right of the decimal point. That's not the units column or the tens or the hundreds or the thousands. This is the 1 over 10, 1 over 100, 1 over 1000, 1 over 10,000. That's the value of those columns. Here we have something similar to problems where you have to read it carefully and then put down this particular problem, put down the digits. You have to read very carefully to work out which number goes on top, which goes on the bottom, and then you get the answer. I've provided all the trading. It's the same with the last two. With problems, you have to read it very, very carefully and then work out, okay, what do we do? How do we write the numbers down? Which one goes on the top? Which one goes on the bottom? What does the problem actually mean? So that's what you have to do. Read it very, very carefully. So this video has presented some examples to show us how to subtract decimals. We've stressed the importance of putting the digits under each other and the decimal points under each other. And when you have a few of these problems here, look at it carefully, work out what it means, and you'll know how to set up the subtraction sum itself.